Hi, people. It's Briony from the Somatherapy Collective. The work that I've been doing for over 20 years in and around embodiment, but primarily for women, and now moving into working with men and women and in the nervous system, supporting the nervous system, scaffolding the nervous system, getting ground and foundation under nervous systems that have been impacted by trauma or experiences that has people living in either a bracing or a shutdown and fight, flight, fawning response in their nervous system, feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, like disconnected from the world and their family, and those that are in, particularly those kind of situations become more exacerbated when you're in great transitions, on great thresholds, which is where we sit today in the world. The nutshell of all of that is that I dismantle systems of oppression and violence externally and in community as well as internally, things that we have built within ourself from different experiences, ancestrally, through our lineage, through our culture, through the death mother culture in which we're all living underneath. And dismantling those structures of oppression and violence within our own systems so we can become embodied and feeling power, pleasure, and purpose within our body, and then that kind of ripples out into the world. Where my work meets the political landscape is super important, and I really want to express that it may look at times that I'm speaking about matters and issues in the world that you may think may not have anything to do with the work that I do, but it's actually integral to the work that I do, because the systems of oppression and violence around the world, the colonialist, capitalist, patriarchal structures in which we are all suffering underneath, is built on your nervous system, on you being in a state of overwhelm, burnout, and your nervous system out of its window of flow, in a shutdown state, in a fawning state, in a hollowed out, lights are on, no one's home, numbed out, frozen state. That's how they get away with what they do. That is how we have gotten, really horrific leaders who are doing really horrific ritualistic eating of children and horrific acts on children. I don't want to say it because of the algorithm. And they're running the world. Like, these people are running the world, and these systems are running the world. And I want to say that my work, particularly in the nervous system, meets a political climate in dismantling oppression and violence outside, so you can start to have an understanding of the oppression and violence and inside your system that is turning away from what is happening in the world. It is so important right now to be discerning. It is so important right now to get in your body. It is so important. It's critical right now for you, for your family, for community, for the survival of humanity, the earth, collectively, that you are empowered and you are deeply connected into your body, and you know your nervous system enough to know what is okay and what is not, where to put your boundaries, when to speak, how to protect yourself, and where your humanity lies. They profit quite directly and overtly and clearly through you being disembodied, for you being in a state of flurry, of overwhelm, of burnout, of not coping, of not being in your body and not being able to recognize triggers in your nervous system that send you into spirals where you cannot be grounded, where you cannot show up connected, where you cannot find your pleasure, you cannot find your purpose, and you cannot find your power.